もう猫はいいから、俺だけを見てて。
Tammy's law firm. Sitting in a quiet office, the vibration of the phone interrupts your thoughts. Marius? Oh no, I was reading a case file and didn't notice the time. It's already so late. I'm supposed to meet Marius for dinner tonight. Watching the minutes tick past the time you should have gotten off work, you take the call. Hey.
ごめん。急に臨時の会議が入っちゃって、ちょっと遅れるかも。もう待ってるよね。
Hearing Mary's apologetic tone, you can't help but shake your head. No, I was reading a case file and haven't left work yet. Are you busy?
新しいプロジェクトが。って、そんな話はさておき。会議が終わったらすぐに迎えに行くから。悪いけど、もう少し待ってて。
If you're not done with work, should we take a rain check? It's not anything urgent. You should get some rest after work.
いや、あんたとの約束は俺にとって一大イベントだからね。会議もそこまで長引かなさそうだし、絶対デートは中止にさせないよ。
Marius interrupts you, somewhat anxious. Perhaps you didn't respond promptly enough, for before you can speak again, Marius starts to act cute over the phone.
いいよね、お姉さん。
Not again. Fine, fine. Let me finish looking over the case file. We can meet up later.
また後で。
After ending the call, you rub your sore shoulders and neck, burying your face in the file again. By the time you look up, 2 hours have passed. Is Mary still in the meeting? Guess I'll go to Pax to wait for him. Law Firm Street. However, as soon as you go downstairs, you see Marius' car parked close by. Marius? You walk over and find the window open. Marius is frowning, gently leaning against the car window with a tablet projecting the meeting. Perhaps because the meeting has gone on too long, he looks uncomfortable in his seat, and even his typically pressed suit is wrinkled.
よし、状況は分かった。今日はひとまずここまでにして、残りは後日話すとしよう。
Seeing you, Mary smiles and winks. Then he cuts the meeting short and puts the tablet aside. You open the car door and get in. Inside the car. Were you having your meeting here at the law firm? I thought we agreed to meet up after your meeting. Why are you here now?
これはとっさの思いつきというか。
Marius avoids your question. Then he changes the subject before you can probe further.
お腹空いたでしょ。店の予約は済ませてあるから、すぐに行こっか。
You observe Marius discreetly, unable to discern any clues. However, an odd feeling rises in your heart seeing him act as if nothing had happened. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. Your residence. 2 weeks ago on a weekend. The doorbell rings and you open the door to find Marius standing there. Marius, why are you here?
どうしてって、俺に会えて嬉しくないの？
No, but shouldn't you be attending a meeting abroad somewhere? Recently, Marius has been busy with Pack's new project.
ほら、これ。
He raises his hand, revealing 2 tickets.
一緒に絵画展に行けるように急いで戻ってきたんだよ。前回は結局見逃しちゃって、お姉さんも残念がってたでしょ。だから今回は絶対に行こうと思って。
Of course, I want to go to the art exhibit with you, but there's no hurry. It's not like the exhibit is only open for a day. It is hard for Marius to hide the fatigue in his eyes, and you can't help but worry. You must also be tired. Why don't we skip it this time and go together once work isn't so busy? Hearing that you want to go on another day, Mary's tone is filled with a bit of anxiety.
けど、1分だって待ちたくないんだ。俺もそこまで疲れてるわけじゃないしさ。ほら、ためらってないで行こう。遠路はるばる駆けつけた俺に無駄足を踏ませるのも忍びないでしょ。
Marius seems to be in a rush. Did something happen? But nothing has changed between us. Upon seeing you hesitate, Marius takes your hand and rocks it gently, pleading you with his eyes. Okay, fine. Thinking about it only makes the odd feeling in your heart grow stronger. He also seems to be in a hurry today. Does he feel pressured to balance work and spending time with me because he's been so busy lately? Then I have to reassure him that I'm okay. Maybe I can. Hearing Meredith laugh, you return to your senses and look at him doubtfully. What is it?
それを聞きたいのはこっちの方だよ。驚いたり悩んだり、急に真顔になったり。一体何をそんなに考えてるの？
Nothing. By the way, do you have any plans tomorrow?
なるほどね。俺とどんな週末を過ごすか考えてたんだ。
Yeah, you've been so busy lately. If you don't have any other plans, I was thinking we could take it easy at home. Marius looks at you with a gentle smile.
いいよ。なら、土曜は俺の家で過ごそっか。藤崎に迎えに行ってもらうから。
The Von Hagen Estate living room. Time flies and you arrive at the Von Hagen Estate on Saturday morning. Walking into the living room, you hear a woman's voice.
田中さん、お手数をおかけして申し訳ございません。
That's Miss Tyler Locke. Tyler Locke looks back at you with a smile. Not long ago, you and Marius took care of a stray male cat that had snuck into the Von Hagen estate. You and Marius named the cat Barry and found someone to adopt him. That person was Tyler Locke, who is standing before you.
弁護士さん、お久しぶりです。
It's been a long time. How's Barry doing? Hearing your words, she frowns.
ええ、今日はそのグレープのことでお屋敷に。
Huh? Did something happen to Barry?
いえいえ、大したことではないのですが、その。
吉明さん、ミキさんに連絡を。
Locke is interrupted by Marius before she can finish. The two of you look at Marius standing on the stairs with a cat in his arms. It's Barry. Marius is stunned for a moment upon seeing both you and Locke there.
こら、じっとしてろ。
Barry is leaning against Marius' shoulder, turning his head towards you. After being restrained by Marius, Barry cries out twice in dissatisfaction. Then he jumps out of Marius' arms and runs toward Locke. What's going on?
そこのいたずら猫がまたしても屋敷に忍び込んで俺のベッドで寝てたんだよ。
申し訳ありません。泉様。私が目を離したばっかりに。グレープは外での生活に慣れているので、ずっと家の中だと退屈だろうと思い、時々庭で遊ばせていたのですが、いつの間にか私の目を盗んで柵の隙間から抜け出してしまったみたいで、ご迷惑をおかけしました。
ああ、いえ、ただの冗談ですので気にしないでください。
I didn't know Barry was so mischievous. Locke laughed at what you said, then exchanges a few more pleasantries before offering to take Barry back home. Barry seems to understand that and suddenly runs over, rubbing his tail against you. Does Barry not want to leave me?
私はてっきり泉様が恋しくて脱走したのかと思っていましたが、弁護士さんの方だったのですね。道理で何度もこのお屋敷に向かうわけです。これまではこちらに弁護士さんがいらっしゃらなかったですから。
You look at Barry sitting tactfully by your feet, recalling why you came to the Von Hagen estate today. You wanted to help Marius relieve stress over the weekend because you've sensed something off about him. With this little one here, it might help Marius relax. So, in a flash of inspiration, you ask Locke. Then, can Barry stay at the Von Hagen estate for a few days? I've also missed Barry dearly. Locke looks at Barry, smiling.
もちろんいいですよ。弁護士さんが付き添ってくださるのなら、その子も喜んでくれると思います。
You look again at Marius. Marius, what do you think?
別にいいよ。今はファラオハウンドもいないしね。
ではグレープのこと、よろしくお願いいたします。
Rest assured, we'll take good care of Barry. Locke takes her leave after handing Barry over. Afterward, you want to discuss with Marius how to spend time with Barry when he eagerly paws at you out of the blue. It turns out a butterfly flying by the window catches Barry's attention, his pupils turning into two thin lines. It seems Barry wants to go outside. Let's take Barry to the garden.
ああ、外ね。いいよ。
The Von Hagen estate garden. The two of you bring Barry into the garden. He quickly jumps out of your arms and runs to the grass. Seeing the sight of Barry playing around, your heart gradually calms down. Marius, you... But when you turn around, you notice Marius staring off into space again. What's with him? He hasn't been focused since just now. Marius, did I put you on the spot by asking Barry to stay for a few days? You are busy with work these days. It must be difficult for you to take care of Barry, right?
ああ、いや、別にそんなこと思ってないよ。ちょっと他のことを考えてて。
Is it work? Is there anything I can do?
いや、大したことじゃないから大丈夫だよ。でも確かに、グレープの世話は。
Marius looks at Barry. If you're really busy, I can stay at the estate to take care of Barry. There aren't any big cases at the firm recently, and I can handle both at the same time.
ここに残る
He repeats your words in a soft voice, pondering for a moment before nodding with a smile.
ありがとうお姉さん。やっぱり俺のことを一番に考えてくれるんだね。
Marius seems to be in a better mood after you agree to stay at the Von Hagen estate. He even starts playing with Barry. And so you and Marius accompany Barry for the whole afternoon, but Barry seems more affectionate with you. First, Barry lets you accompany him as he catches butterflies. Then he carries over cat toys to play with you, and even when he's exhausted from playing, he rests by your side. Marius watches all of this with a speechless expression as the sky gradually darkens. Marius' bedroom. After sending Barry off for his meal, you and Marius finally have some alone time. But it doesn't last long. Soon after dinner, Barry comes over to you again. Barry has become more affectionate than before. You scratch Barry's head and Barry meows in response.
まったく一日中遊び続けるなんて随分と元気になったんだな。
Isn't that good? As you speak, Barry rolls over and curls into a ball. You scratch his chin and he closes his eyes in enjoyment.
こいつ本当に甘え上手だな。
Marius mumbles as his hand reaches out to tease Barry. But not only does Barry not appreciate it, it responds by getting more affectionate with you. Finally, Barry throws Marius a glance. Huh? Before you can react, Marius picks up Barry. Barry struggles a little in his arm, but he stops screaming around under Marius' threatening gaze. Marius walks over to the door and sends off Barry, closing the bedroom door behind him. Looking triumphant, Marius turns a blind eye to the scratching noise outside the door.
よーし、これで邪魔者はいなくなった。
Marius' bedroom. You burst out in laughter at the way Marius and Barry fought each other. After the last time you two fought, I thought you'd get along this time. As soon as you see that, Marius moves beside you and places his head on your shoulders. His head sweeps across your neck and you turn your head. You can feel his body heat through the thin fabric.
俺が悪いの？この週末は俺に付き合ってくれるって言ってたのに、グレープばっか構ってさ。
Marius let out a sigh. Even so, you think he's much more relaxed than before. You put your arm around Marius and console him by patting his back. So that's why you didn't want Barry in the bedroom?
だって仕方ないだろ。
Marius moves away from you slightly. He props himself up on the bed and looks down at you. Well, I thought you would be able to relax with Barry here.
リラックス？
Yeah, aren't you been busy lately? I noticed you've been pretty tense. This is the first time I've seen you work so hard. Marius avoids your gaze, thinking about something. Sensing his hesitation, you continue. Marius, I've always known how busy your work schedule is. I can understand. So, going to the art exhibit with me or picking me up for a date, you don't have to rush to see me all the time.
もしかして迷惑だった？
That's not what I mean. Of course I want to see you as well, but I don't want you to push yourself too much. I want you to feel comfortable with when we're together. Right now, you seem unnatural. Marius widened his eyes slightly.
不自然ね。
Pondering for a moment, Marius finally let out a sigh.
あんたの言う通りかもね。確かに最近の俺はちょっと不自然だったと思う。何せ。
Before Marius can finish, you hear a sound coming from the door. Frightened by the noise, both you and Marius look toward the door. With the bedroom door slightly ajar, Barry strolls in elegantly. With his raised high in the air, Barry looks defiantly at Marius. He walks over to the bed and jumps gracefully into your arms.
こら、グレープ!
Sensing Barry's displeasure, Barry yells back in dissatisfaction as if reproaching Marius for locking him outside. The next moment, Marius picks Barry up again. With his movements restricted, Barry struggles to no avail.
泣いたって無駄だぞ。さてどんなお仕置きをしてやろうかな。いて。
Barry interrupts Marius with a paw to the face. A face-off between a man and a cat is hilarious, no matter how you look at it. Marius, your face! You want to stop their fight, but you burst out in laughter instead. There is a distinct paw marks on Marius' face when Barry had struck.
どうしたの?
With Marius' puzzled look, you gently rub the mark from his face, but you can't wipe away all the dust. Barry's paws got your face all dirty. Wait, if that's the case... You look down. Sure enough, there are dark paw prints on his clothes and the bedsheets. Barry must have gotten dirty from playing in the garden this afternoon. I forgot to wipe his feet afterward. Marius looks at the dark paw prints and an evil smile appears on his face.
そういえばグレープは長いこと風呂に入ってないんだったな。しかも今日は外で泥まみれになったし。いい機会だ。俺が風呂に入れてやる。
Hearing the word bath, Barry desperately turns his head and asks you for help. You caresses the top of his head. Barry, be good. It's about time you bath. I'll keep you company. Don't be scared.
いいや、俺が一人で入れてやる。
Marius changes positions and hugs Barry in his arm to keep you from taking the cat. Huh? You want to bath Barry by yourself?
そうだよ。抵抗したって無駄だぞ。俺たちの親睦を深めるいい機会だからな。これを逃す手はない。
With that, Marius carries Barry into the bathroom before you can stop him. Will Marius be fine? Moments later, you hear a series of banging sounds coming from the bathroom. Marius, is everything going okay in there by yourself?
もちろん大丈夫だよ。
You hear Marius' voice over the sound of running waters. Despite him saying no problem, you don't find it convincing at all. Before you can ask anything else, you hear Marius' loud exclamation, followed by the sound of his fall. Marius! You anxiously push open the doors to the shower room. Through the water vapors, you see a battlefield. The fallen shower head is spraying water everywhere. Aside from that, a metal basin and chair have been knocked over with a brush thrown on the floor, along with one of Marius' slippers. Marius, are you okay? You come through the door so suddenly that Marius and Barry didn't have time to react. They both stare at you with traces of anger on their faces. Marius is half lying on the ground, barely holding onto Barry, and Barry is clinging onto Marius' pants with his front paws.
俺は大丈夫だよ。
Marius is wet all over with water still dripping from his hair. He looks somewhat dejected. Let me help you.
いや、
Just as Marius is about to refuse your help, Barry cries out in anguish, as if accusing Marius of his evil deeds. The cry hinders Marius' refusal as a wrong expression appears on his face.
見てよお姉さん。俺をいじめた上に被害にぶるなんて、ひどい猫だと思わない？
It's rare to see Marius suffering like this.
俺がこんな目に遭ってるのに笑うなんて、お姉さんまで俺のことをいじめる気？
Fine, fine, I won't tease you anymore. But still, let me help. Marius looks at Barry and sighs helplessly.
わかったよ。確かにあんたがいてくれないとダメそうだ。
Shower cubicle. You take Barry from Marius and put him on a relatively dry counter nearby before pulling Marius to his feet. Watch out for the wet floor. You and Marius briefly clean up the bathroom while Barry sits on the counter closely watching Marius' every move. Whenever Marius heads in his direction, Barry arches his back and backs away, looking for the best path to escape. You gently pull Marius back. Let me. Carrying Barry, you make him relax by petting him. Barry stops struggling, allowing the warm water to run through his fur. Marius reaches out wanting to help, but Barry smacks his hand away. Marius takes his hand back dejected.
本当にやんちゃになったというか、前よりもずっとわがままになったよね。初めて屋敷で会った時はここまでじゃなかったのに。もしかして俺が風呂に入れたことで本当に嫌いになったとか？
Of course not. On the contrary, I think Barry likes you very much.
そうかな。
I heard that many stray cats are cautious and defensive. They'll try to please people to get food. However, after they are adopted, they become unusually unruly. That's because they know they have a home, so they can get away with being troublemakers. I think Barry knows that even if he causes trouble, you won't really be mad. Marius gives Barry a skeptical look, and Barry looks back at him quietly as if to affirm what you see.
全然違うと思うよ。やんちゃなだけならまだしも、ずっとあんたにまとわりついてさ。俺だって。
Marius suddenly stops, the words disappearing in the sound of running water. Won't you what? Instead of answering, Marius takes the shower head from you and washes the soap off Barry. He pauses, his eyes resting on the foaming water spilling over the edge of the metal basin. When the soap has been rinsed completely, he finally speaks again.
グレープにまとわりつかれるの嫌じゃないの？
You are surprised by Marius suddenly changing the topic. You look at him, coincidentally meeting his gaze. I guess so.
なら、俺がまとわりついても嫌じゃないよね。
You pause, trying to find out the reason for that question from Marius' expression, but he looks at you calmly. You look down, pondering Mary's question as you continue to bath Barry. I think it's hard for me to answer that question.
え、どうして？
Because we're usually so busy, so you rarely see with me. How can I be the judge of something I haven't personally experienced? But if you were to try it, I think I wouldn't mind it. Marius doesn't answer you immediately. That odd feeling returns when you see him speechless. I have to clear the air. Ah, however, Barry, perhaps sensing he is being ignored, suddenly shakes his body, splashing you and Marius with water. The two of you have to hurry up and bath Barry. Marius' bedroom. After giving Barry a bath and drying his fur, the fierce battle finally comes to an end. You and Marius take turns showering. By the time you return to the bedroom, Marius and Barry are asleep. After a long night, we're all exhausted. Crouching by the bed, you gently play with Marius' messy hair. What's bothering you? You think back to the unfinished conversation in the shower room. Always by my side. The Van Hagen Estate living room. On Sunday morning, you head downstairs with Barry in your arms while Marius is still asleep. Barry rolls over on the sofa, revealing his belly, meowing softly to get you to pet her. You pretend to be serious. Acting cute won't work. You really can't make Marius angry today. You reach out and gently poke Barry's forehead, and he responds by rubbing his chin against you. I can't keep you company today. Marius has something on his mind, so I have to. Still talking with Barry, you spot Marius coming downstairs. Then it's settled. Barry glances back at Marius, licks his paw, then jumps off the couch to get to the garden. I guess that's a promise made with Barry.
変だな。今日はあんたのとこにいないんだ。
We had the discussion and I will keep you company today. Is there anything you want to do? Hearing your question, Marius looks somewhat apologetic.
ごめん。この後はオンライン会議があって。
Then it's my turn to keep you company. Would it bother you if I sit beside you? He looks at you thoughtfully, then smiles.
もちろん邪魔なんかじゃないよ。ありがとう。
Marius' bedroom. So you accompany Marius to the bedroom for the online meeting. Marius gets to work quickly. In the past, you would occasionally accompany him while he worked, but you would also be doing your own thing. It's my first time doing nothing and staring at Marius. But this is a good chance to figure out what's bothering Marius. The people in the meeting argue about something while Marius listens with interest. He glances at the data in his hands from time to time but sees nothing. Just as usual, Marius appears to handle the work with ease. Marius doesn't seem to be having problems at work. Or did he already take care of it? The meeting ends with you still deep in thought. Marius' bedroom. Marius closes the projection, shifts himself to the left and sits next to you.
俺がかっこいいのはわかるけど、そこまでじっと見つめなくてもいいんじゃない？そんなに熱い視線を送られたらまともに会議なんてできないよ。
You didn't seem distracted. But judging by your tone during the meeting, have you solved the problem?
うん、順調に進んだよ。
That's great news. You can't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Marius smiles and pinches your face. You feel the corners of your mouth being lifted.
へえ、そんなに俺の仕事を気にかけてくれてたの？だからさっきまで難しい顔してたんだ。もう大丈夫だから。ほら、笑って。
That's because. Hesitating for a moment, you stop speaking, instead taking Mary's hand and interlocking your fingers with his. He looks at you surprised as you lean stiffly into his arm.
え、急にどうしたの？
You let out a sigh and leave Mary's embrace. But the next moment, Marius grabs your hand tightly. He pulls you firmly toward him.
ねえ、どうしたの？そっちから仕掛けといて逃げるつもり？
No, Forget it. I'm not suited to do these things.
え？
Marius looks puzzled, so you come clean with your thoughts. Actually, after our talk last night, I realized that I like it when Barry is clingy with me. It's probably the feeling of being depended on. That dependency and trust make me feel calm and relaxed. So I thought maybe you would feel the same if I always stayed by your side. But since I've never done anything like this before, it felt like I was overdoing it. Marius pauses for a moment as if to digest your words. Then he smiles softly, his eyes shining like stars.
いや、おかしいなんて思ってないよ。むしろ、嬉しかった。ただ、お姉さんはもう少し勉強した方がいいかもね。
Marius suddenly rubs the tip of your nose like a kitten, his scent enveloping you in an instant. You feel a kiss on the bridge of your nose, which then travels down to the tip and finally to your lips.
まとわりつくっていうのは、こういうのを言うんだよ。よければもっと教えてあげよっか。
No, maybe next time. Marius smiles slyly and you realize he changed the subject again. Let's talk about what's really going on with you. Is there some kind of problem that you can't share with me?
いや、それは多分、あんたに関係することだと思うよ。あんたが言うように、俺はここのところ確かに変だった。けど、それは仕事のせいじゃなくて、俺たちが婚約したからだ。
Huh? Marius looks away in an embarrassment.
婚約してからより一層、俺は常にあんたとくっついていたいと思うようになってさ。今よりもっとあんたの時間を独占して、いつでも会いたいって。けど同時に、そういう行為はちょっと、幼稚だと思う自分がいた。それに、俺はあんたを縛り付けるためにプロポーズしたんじゃない。だから、グレープが自由にあんたにまとわりついてる姿を見て、ちょっと羨ましかったんだ。
No wonder you seem a bit too eager when we met up recently, almost as if you needed to see me.
そうだよ。何が何でも会いたかった。もともと頻繁に会えるわけでもないしさ。一緒にいられる時間をこれ以上失いたくなかったんだ。
Marius looks at you sincerely, telling you everything he has felt in recent times. With his low voice and warm breath, your heart is filled with a tender sweetness. Marius, I want to tell you. As far as I'm concerned, we can get along the way we used to, or you can try something new. Because we have a lifetime to figure out what's works with us. Don't need to feel burdened by it. You lift your clasped hand, the engagement ring still gleaming brilliantly in the light as the day you first saw it. Most importantly, we're going to live together sooner or later. So even if you're clingy with me every day, I won't find it childish, let alone troublesome. You mimic his prior movements, rubbing against his nose before kissing the tip of it. Just like now, do you like it when I'm staying by your side?
好き。
There is no further response. In the next moment, words are tangled in an exchange of lips and tongues. The pent-up emotions from before pour out at this moment, enhancing the kiss. It isn't until you feel your breath strip away that Marius licks your lips and releases you slightly.
あんたの言う通りだ。俺たちはいずれ一緒に暮らし、一生を共に過ごすことになる。
The Van Hagen Estate living room. After Marius finishes work, the two of you have a simple lunch. You feel a little guilty about ignoring Barry for the whole morning, but looking around the living room, you don't see any sign of him.
吉明さんに聞いてきたよ。庭で日向ぼっこしてるのを見たってさ。
I'll go look. It's about time to feed him. Just then, Barry jumps through the window. Barry! Huh? It seems there's something in Barry's mouth. Barry runs over to you and rubs against you lovingly. Then you see a small wet flower in his mouth. He motions for you to open your hand, then puts the flower in your palm. Is this for me? What a beautiful flower! You must have spent a long time looking for it. Barry responds with an elongated meow before he runs out again. Shortly after, Barry returns with another small flower in his mouth. But this time, Barry places the flower by Marius' feet. The Van Hagen Estate living room. Putting down the flower, Barry jumps on the sofa and starts grooming himself. Marius picks up the flower and inspects it in the palm of his hand. Then he looks at Barry in bewilderment. What is it?
いや、なんていうか、前にグレープがうちに忍び込んできた時のことを思い出してさ。あ、俺が会議で海外に出張に行く前の夜ね。あの時は確か、あんたと絵画展に行くために予定を早めて帰ってこようかと悩んでたんだけど。そしたらちょうど、グレープが本棚に飛び乗って置いてあった画集を落としたんだ。で、画集にはちょうど絵画展のチケットが挟んであって、中身が散らばった際にそれを見つけた。そんなあまりに偶然すぎる出来事に運命を感じた俺は、最終的に帰りの便を早めることにしたんだ。
What a coincidence! You can't help but glance at Barry, who is stretching on the sofa, unmoved by your conversation with Marius.
うん。俺も最初はただの偶然だと思ったよ。けど、今回のことも含めて、本当は全部グレープの策略だったんじゃないか？結局、俺があんたに悩みを話せたのだって、こいつに煽られたからだし。
Barry cries out as if to answer Mary's question. Barry really understands human nature. Who knows, maybe Barry really understood your struggle and tried to help you in his own way. Marius and Barry stare at each other. Finally, Barry shakes his head and with a smile.
まあいいや。もともとグレープにはプレゼントを用意してたし、もし本当に助けてくれてたなら、ちょうどいい礼になる。
A gift?
うん、すぐにわかるよ。
Half an hour later, Vincent arrives with a plethora of materials. Noticing the sketches of a cat house, pillars, and wooden planks of various sizes, you soon understand the gift that Marius was talking about. Are you building a cat tree for Barry?
ただのキャットタワーじゃないよ。これは全部俺がデザインした完全オリジナル作品だからね。
What?
初めてうちに忍び込んできた時から、なんとなくこいつは今後も抜け出してくるような気がして、少しずつ準備を始めてたんだ。
You do like Barry as well. Then let's get building. I'll help out. Worried that your ring might get in the way during the assembly, you take it off and carefully put it away. The two of you choose a wall without many decorations in the living room and start assembling the cat tree. It isn't too difficult to assemble the cat tree since Marius designed it personally. However, wait, Barry, the screws aren't toys. Where did you hide the cushion?
あ、おい、それはまだ固定してな。
While you search for the missing cushion, you hear Mary's voice accompanied by a crash. Before you two can fix the pillar and the wooden planks, Barry jumps on them, causing them to tumble down. We have to start over again. Marius quickly picks up Barry. However, Marius extends his arm longer. Barry swings his paws but realizes that he can't reach Marius, so he gives up.
これ以上邪魔したら、夕飯の牛肉はなしだからな。
Barry blinks and flicks his tail, finally calming down. Without Barry causing trouble, the cat tree is soon assembled. You and Marius hang decorations on the cat tree. The next moment, Barry anxiously jumps on the top of the cat tree. Barry looks down at you and Marius from up above, almost as if he is the true owner of the Wohnhagen estate. It seems Barry really likes your gift.
何せ俺が直々にデザインしたからね。おいグレープ、ちゃんと礼はしたんだから、今後はもう向こうにばかりつきまとうなよ。恩着せがましいことを言うつもりはないが、少しは遠慮して。
Watch out!
いった。
Before anyone can react, Barry has already jumped off the cat tree to another spot, using Marius' head as a platform. Marius cries out in pain, rubbing the back of his head. You rush over to support him. Marius, are you okay? Marius' expression changes quickly from shock to dissatisfaction, and then back to the aggrieved expression you're familiar with.
大丈夫じゃないよお姉さん。グレープにまたいじめられた。
Phew, he seems fine. Barry stares intently at Marius, his tail lashing back and forth as if looking for the next opportunity to attack. Does Barry understand us?
よく言い聞かせてやって。罪のない純粋な人間をいじめちゃダメだって。
But shouldn't your fair share of bullying as well? Seeing Marius at a disadvantage, you nod in agreement. You're right, I'll confiscate Barry's beef for tonight.
あ、待って。
Marius calls out to you.
別に急がなくてもいいよ。 今はまだ痛いからさ。
Does it hurt a lot?
うんうん。グレープのやつ容赦なくてさ。
I'll rub it for you. You gently rub the back of Marius' head. The moment you touch his fingertips, you can't help but laugh. You two really are my nemesis. You turn to look at Barry, who has vanished into thin air. There's no trace of him in the living room, so he must have run off to play somewhere else. All of a sudden, Marius embraces you and takes you into his arms.
もう猫はいいから、俺だけを見てて。少なくとも今日は一日、ずっと俺のことを看病して、そばで見守ってて。
While trying to act cute, you feel a sense of a temptation in Marius' word, but you know he's just trying to keep you by his side. So you nod at him with a smile. Okay, I'll only look at you.
もしもし、今日の調子はどう？うん、その通りだよ。さっきまで会議してたから。急用じゃないけど、実は今日の昼、グレープがまたこっそり忍び込んできて、俺のベッドで寝始めちゃってさ。心配ないよ。もう伝えたし、夜には迎えに来るから。そうそう。今日聞いたんだけど、今回グレープが逃げ出したのは、ミキさんが庭のフェンスを直そうとしてた時だったらしいよ。もう抜け出さないようにするためだって。あいつは賢いけど、こうも頻繁に出てたらリスクが伴うからね。そら、話は変わるけど、今回のグレープはすっごくおとなしい上に懐いてくるんだ。これじゃ本当に借りてきた猫みたいだよ。これってひょっとすると、グレープもようやく俺の魅力に気づいたってことかな？え？それはグレープなりの別れの挨拶だって？はあ、そっか。最後に挨拶しに来るなんて、ほんとグレープらしいよね。声が名残惜しそう？まあ、多少はね。最近は特に屋敷でも見慣れ始めてたから。いや、あいつには言わないよ。もし知ったらきっと天狗になるだろうから。なんでもない。グレープがすり寄ってきただけ。俺に遊んでほしいのかもね。あんたもグレープに会いたい？いいよ。すぐに迎えを送るから。やっぱり俺が迎えに行く。平気。そのくらいなんでもないよ。俺が少しでも早くあんたに会いたいだけだから。そう？昨日会ったばっかだっけ？はあ、恋しがってるこの顔を見てよ。こんなことなら返さなきゃよかったな。からかってないって。それじゃあ迎えに行くから待ってて。